For over 100 years, hockey has been a sport dominated by men. But leagues such as the NWHL and CWHL have created a platform for girls and women to strive to play for one day. On December 30th, 2015, women's hockey took center stage at Gillette Stadium for the Winter Classic. But what was meant to be a day of victory ended with a life-changing injury.
So we've always been a big hockey family. My sisters both play, my dad played, so it was probably really my dad that got me motivated. My mom was a roller skater, so they had me on roller skates. I think it was something I always loved to do, and again, it was always such a big family event. My dad coached, my mom was always there cheering us on and driving us everywhere we needed to be, and definitely a big hockey mom.
Hockey kept Denna busy throughout the year. When she wasn't playing for her local high school team Nobles, she was playing for the top-rated select team Assabet Valley. Yet when the summer came around, Denna always looked forward to playing hockey with her younger sisters.
My favorite time was always summer hockey, when we either got to play with each other at camps, or I always loved playing the Beantown games because I got to be line mates with my sister. But we never played together officially on a team, but it was always fun to play with them in the summer.
Hockey was always a big part of Denna's life, and she had dreams of playing beyond high school.
I definitely always wanted to play on the Olympic team. When I was growing up, that was the goal, because there was no NWHL, there was no CWHL, there was nothing to look forward to like that yet. But I definitely always looked up to the USA girls, and I would go to the games whenever they were around and watched on TV and have all their signatures and things like that. But nothing at the professional level, just because there wasn't that available yet. So I think it's so exciting that girls now have that to look forward to and look up to.
Though hockey was a big part of Denna's life and her family's, it never took away from her studies or was too much to handle.
I just feel like I gained a lot of time management skills through hockey, through balancing hockey and a normal life. So I feel like I kept the overwhelmingness potential down, but hockey was just something you did. You didn't know who you were, what else to do without it, really.
Denna's love and commitment for the game didn't stop when she graduated from Nobles, and she was recruited by Princeton as one of their top forwards.
When I got there, the atmosphere was just amazing. The school itself is gorgeous. The people there were so nice and friendly. The team, coaches, they were all welcoming and made me really feel like I could make a big impact on the team quickly. And I was definitely drawn to that. Playing a competitive game and getting an amazing education.
Though Denna had dreams outside of hockey, she wasn't ready to hang up the skates after graduating from Princeton and decided to play for the CWHL Boston Blades before signing with the NWHL Boston Pride in 2015.
Playing professionally right now is something you have to do on the side of something else. So my decision to play in the CWHL originally, because I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I played hockey for my whole life, and I couldn't imagine not being in the locker room with my teammates, or just like the experience of being on the ice. I couldn't really imagine.
After playing for the CWHL for a season, Denna decided to switch leagues and make the move to the NWHL.
It was really cool to be able to come back and have all those friends that I had made, a lot of those friends that I had made in the CWHL, but a lot of my friends who have been my best friends growing up, to come back and be able to play with them in Boston again was a really amazing feeling.
Denna was never the type of player to let her team down. She was known for her strength and resilience. With every shift and opportunity she was given, she always made the most of it.
She's definitely a tough kid, and anything that she could do that would help the team out, she was the first one to do. So if it meant playing through pain, or if it meant playing through shoulder injuries, or whatever injury it may be, it didn't stop her, and she just managed to keep going and to still be an effective teammate and effective player on the ice.
I think to be a successful hockey player, you need to be passionate. You need to be able to work hard and leave everything out on the ice. You really need to be able to trust your teammates, and you need to be able to want to do things that you wouldn't normally want to do, because your teammates need you to do it.
As the NWHL season rolled on, Denna and the rest of her Boston Pride teammates were given the news that they would be playing on New Year's Eve at Gillette Stadium to open up for the Winter Classic. Not only was this an opportunity to play outdoors, but it was a historic event for women's hockey.
Stepping out on the ice, the stands were not full in any means, but just to be out on the stadium, and it was breathtaking. The experience, the atmosphere. It was such a nice day. Everybody was skating around with their Winter Classic hats on, and we had just been building the energy around the game and our anticipation. So to finally get out there and hear our names announced over Gillette Stadium's surround speaker system was very incredible.
With 2 minutes left in the first, Denna took the ice to close out the period. However, as she skated to retrieve a puck in the opponent's end, she fell headfirst into the boards. As both teams stood in silence waiting for Denna to get back up, EMTs approached and took Denna off the ice on a stretcher. About a week later, Denna's family announced that she had suffered a severe spinal cord injury that left her with no feeling in her legs and limited movement of her arms.
After the surgery, when people finally got the opportunity to come see me, that time when I was at MGH, it was a little hazy for me. I was definitely still out of it, but I definitely remember, some of my closest friends like Marissa Gedman and Kelly Cook being kind of the first couple people to be there, and I think I remember saying something to them along the lines of, so you know what happened, but one really nice moment that I remember with my friends, they all, when I first was able to talk, I had them all come in, and I was like, shh. I told them all to be like, I didn't tell them to be quiet, but I was signaling them to be quiet. And then I spoke, and it was an awesome moment. And I had all my friends there, and that was a really cool moment that I remember.
When news of Denna's injury spread, many came together to support Denna, including her Boston Pride teammates, whose one goal was to win the Isabel Cup and bring it home to Denna.
I think that the way that the Pride really, dealt with the news was to be stronger and to be more together and kind of just to come closer, and it formed a bond between us that we didn't necessarily have before, just because we had this one common goal and this one extremely emotional, drive that was motivating us to win the championship for her.
I think it just brought us all together. We really rallied around Denna and her spirit and just her fight. We would go and visit her once a week and things like that, and just her passion and what she was doing to get better just made us want to be better in everything we were doing, and obviously win the Isabel Cup for her and really win out the rest of the season.
That first year was definitely something special, because after I got hurt, they went on a tear. They started winning all of their games. They brought me back all of the pucks from all of the goals that they scored. I had this giant tower of pucks from all of the goals they had scored. So it was definitely special for them to win. And I was definitely very emotional. Just wanting to be there and happy for them. And so Marissa has been one of my best friends growing up, and we went to high school together, we went to middle school together. So for her to go grab her phone in the middle of the celebration just to make sure that I was included was one of the most selfless things that anyone's ever done for me. So I was definitely emotional. I was very happy though. And then they brought that trophy right back to me. It was the first thing they did when they got off the bus. Came right over to Spalding. So it was a great moment to be able to celebrate with them too.
When it comes to motivation, Denna has a lot of support and inspiration. Not only has Denna been the motivation for her Boston Pride teammates, but they have been her motivation as well.
I would definitely say my teammates are part of my motivation. They have been, again, since day one. They were knocking at the door, trying to get in, making sure that I knew that they loved me and that they supported me. And through this whole entire experience, they have showed up at my hotel room. They have showed up at, my hospital room. They've showed up at events. They have brought me coffee when I needed it. They have been here and they have been supporting me through it all. And they definitely motivate me to be better. And it's definitely a back and forth kind of thing where we motivate each other.
Denna has continued to be a driving force for the Boston Pride. And as the 2016-2017 season began, Denna's younger sister, Denna Laing, was signed as a free agent. In 2017, another Laing was added to the Boston Pride roster, Denna's youngest sister, Lexi.
To see Brianna playing for the Pride makes me really excited. I love that she's wearing the same colors that I was wearing. And I love that she is going to have the opportunity to play with some of her friends again, and really represent Boston well. I just hope that she can kind of have the same sort of experience that I did, where I got to play with all my best friends again.
The outpouring of support for Denna and her family has been met with open arms. From one hockey community to the next, rivalry was set aside to show support for Denna.
so many people will message me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or send me letters that, so much support and saying that I have encouraged them one way or another. And I received hundreds of letters. It really makes you feel like you're not alone, and makes me want to smile all the time, and pushes me a little more to get better and better, and prove to these people, and not prove, but make sure that I am, being that encouragement that everyone is saying I am.
When it comes to setting goals for herself, Denna understands that working hard doesn't always mean you'll see improvement, so she continues to take her injury one day at a time.
I have never been the best or the smartest or whatever you want to say, but I've always worked really hard. And usually in my experience, when you work really hard, you get results. And that's not always the case with this injury. You can work your hardest, but still not always get the results that you expect. So there are definitely times that the injury is frustrating, and I have a very amazing support system, and they help me to do a lot of things that I want to do. But there's still some things that I can't do, and it gets frustrating when I need to ask for so much help. But the people definitely are motivating for me, and I'm given a lot of good opportunities, and just reminds me that I'm lucky to have those opportunities, so I try not to waste them.
Denna always had dreams outside of hockey, and though her injury has set her back, it hasn't stopped her from wanting the same things.
I think that something additional to hockey was always on my mind, and always a goal of mine. I've always wanted to be a lawyer, so I have the goal to go to law school one day. I was applying for law school when I got hurt, and kind of have put that on pause for now, but I hope to get back to it one day. So I am a highly superstitious person, and when I set lofty goals for myself or get too excited about something, I kind of think I'm jinxing myself. So I definitely have goals, but I keep them small, and I think of them more as building blocks to bigger things. A couple of my trainers at Journey Forward always say you need to be able to sit before you can stand, you need to stand before you can walk. So I would add, you need to be able to walk before you can skate as well. But I think the sky is the limit, and I think to kind of limit myself on what is possible is the wrong kind of approach. Crazier things have happened, and people have learned to walk again. So I am a big proponent of working hard for things you want, and my game plan is kind of to just keep working hard at the things that have proven to make people better at what they're doing, and I'm gonna put myself in the best spaces that I possibly can be at, and in the best programs that I can possibly be at, and hopefully, I'll hit those lofty goals. But just taking it one day at a time, and really making sure to make the best of the opportunities I have.
Denna's love for the game hasn't stopped. It continues to be a big part of her life and her family's. Whether she's cheering on her favorite teams, her teammates, or her sisters, her love for hockey is stronger than ever.
Hockey means the same thing that it's always meant to me. It's where my friends hang out. It's where I have grown up. It's something that I will continue to love. No matter if I am on the ice or in the stands, it will always be a part of me, and it'll always be something I love to be around. But there is no greater friendship that I have made than being in a hockey rink. So it'll always be a very special thing for me, and have a special place in my heart.